Hi, everyone. Welcome to Acknowledging Our Elders. I apologize for the camera's quality. Not sure why it's the way it is, but it's okay. We are going to move along. So my name is Journey Bimwala, and I am an herbalist, a foraging practitioner. I'm also an educator, and I want to welcome everyone to Acknowledging Our Elders along the Bronx River series. Basically, this is about acknowledging, recognizing, and sharing collectively the community stories and encounters with the plants that are growing along the Bronx River. And it's really important that we acknowledge those plants. And yes, they are our elders. Plants have been on this planet long before human being um, were even here. So they definitely hold a lot of knowledge. We have special relationship that we hold dear with plants, with our ecosystems. And they serve many different purposes, right? We interact with them differently. And it's also just really great to hear what other people's stories around plants are. And specifically along the Bronx River, the Bronx River is New York City, only freshwater river that we have left. So that in itself, it's such a treasure. And we, along with the plants that are growing along it, we are very lucky, to be able to have such a river. And our river is currently polluted, and works is being done to remediate the problem. And this is a long-term kind of work um, that's happening along the Bronx River. So it's just an amazing thing. Anyway, we're gonna go along. So what's gonna be happening today? I'm going to hear from an amazing young man, Ray. He's going to come on and he's going to share with us his stories, his interaction with plants along the Bronx River or any of the green spaces along the river that he has been to, and all of the way that he has engaged with the plants and things of that nature. So if you would just give me one moment and trying to get him situated. I hope he has the link. Yeah. Okay, so he will be with us shortly. Yeah. So while we wait for our guest to arrive and share and hear um the story that he has, it would be really great, if you yourself have stories of plants that you love or has inspired you, that you've used in whatever ways, right, that serviced you. Um, Hit me up, leave us a comment, and I would love to hear what your story is. I would love to know the plant that you're talking about. It's just a really good learning um, time for all of us because I'm also get to learn a lot about some plants. You know, as much as I love plants and I'm out there with plants all the time, I don't know them all. So, moments like this when we get to share, I really appreciate that because I get to discover new things, new plants. And the plant we're going to be talking about today is very new to me. Very, very new. I did a deep dive learning a little bit more about it. Really interesting. And it has brought new new thoughts into my space. So these are some kind of things that are beneficial in sharing our stories and sharing the plants that we love and engage with. It can support someone else in learning something new, in opening something that was closed. You never know. So today we are going to hear about this amazing plant called Spartina. So today is Spartina time. Okay. Um, 1 second. Okay. A little minor difficulty. Okay, here we go. Our guest has arrived. I'm excited. Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
good.
Awesome. Well, let me just say thank you for agreeing and participating in acknowledging our elders and being present with us today. So I'm really glad that you're here. And if you don't mind introducing yourself, your name and stuff, whatever you're comfortable with.
Um, my name is Ramon. I am 16.
Okay, awesome. Hi, Ramon. Okay, so welcome to Acknowledging Our Elders, and today we are going to be talking about a plant that you was just sharing with me. What's the name of the plant?
It's Spartina.
Yes, Spartina, Spartina alterniflora. That's the name of the plant. And I must say, like, I never really heard of that plant before. I've seen it, just never really paid any attention or mind to it. Um, and I took a deep dive, started just researching it real quick just to see, learn a little bit more about it. Now I'm very intrigued about the plant. So I'm excited and I'm going to give you the floor to kind of just share with us, like, what is Spartina? What's your relationship with this plant? Where have you encountered a plant along the Bronx River? Like, yeah, what does this plant mean to you? Whatever you want to share on it.
Um, so my experience with the plant, I would say is pretty decent. We would have like some at a rock in the boat where I work, we would have some jars full of seeds. We let them sit in the water for a bit till they're, I would say, ready for us to put out in the Bronx River. We have like certain locations around the end of the Bronx River. We plant them by the walls. They're supposed to help filter the water of the Bronx River to help make it cleaner, bring a bit more oxygen to the water for those that live in it, like fish, birds, and whatever else comes into the river. The American eagles as well.
Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. So, if I'm understanding correctly, you 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 work or you are from a program called Rocking the Boat, correct? That's what you said, right? All right. And so you've been planting Spartina kind of all over.
I wasn't exactly part of the project. I just got into the project kind of sort of. At the moment, we're more so maintaining it, make sure it's growing correctly, make sure that the area is clean and that there's no complications to it whatsoever.
Okay, so what kind of plant? Actually, I'm going to share a photo, but what kind of plant, like Spartina, what kind of plant is that?
It's kind of like a very tall type of grass type plant. It more so grows in like marshes, ponds, rivers. Um, when they start off, it's I think the seeds that they have, they're more so for like floating up on the water, I believe. Um, yeah, I would say what they benefit for the habitat is like I explained before, like filtration of the water, a good habitat and hiding places for some creatures that might come by.
Okay, all right. So it's a type of grass. So it's a grass. Wow, that's really good. So what is it that you like about this plant? Like, what's this plant? What is
I
it
would say
like about it? Like, does it have some kind of like, yeah, what do you like about it?
what I like about it is the benefit that it can bring to the river, and I don't know, I just kind of like the how it looks, kind of. And also a bit of history with it. When I first saw the seeds, the container that when they start off, when we have a group of them, they kind of smell. It was like a little funny history, so it was very awful smell that we have to deal with.
So it stinks.
Yeah, when it starts off as a seed.
Okay. So, I mean, is it the type of plant like if I was to walk through a sea of Spartina, and just brushing against it, am I gonna stink? Am I gonna smell like that? Or am I going to even smell it?
Fully grown Spartina, I'd say no, because there's not really a smell that I noticed with it, but I think it just might be with the seeds, or maybe it was just them all bunched together that might have caused the smell.
Okay. Okay, 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 okay. If you can describe the smell, is it like cheesy smell? Is it like fermentation smell? Like,
I
yeah,
would say
what kind of,
somewhere along the lines of fermentation. It's been a minute since I've encountered the smell because at the moment our Spartana locations are all filled, I would say. So we're kind of good with Spartina at the moment. We're just managing it, but I would say it smells a bit more like walking through an area full of trash, kind of, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm trying to share my screen. I've been trying to share my screen so I can show this plant. It's a grass. So, Spartina alterniflora, that's the botanical name, is also known as what's it? It has a common name. Something smooth grass, cord grass, something like that. But I'll get back to that. So it is part of the grass family. And yes, it grows in salt marshes, pond, tidal wetland, and intertidal zones. So we do have them. You'll find them at Concrete, Plant Park, Sound View. Um, what else? I know back in the boat, that area, you guys also plant a lot of that plant, right? In that space.
Yes, we have one by the dock, and we have some further down the river by, I think it's like this rock formation. We call it Turtle Rock.
Tidal Rock.
Turtle Rock, because
Turtle Rock.
when the tide is low, it does look somewhat like a turtle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's native to this area. It's native to the Atlantic and Gulf Coast of North America, including the Bronx River estuary. So we do have a lot of that. I know it to be from the research, a little bit of research that I did. It's a soil and water purifier. The roots filter out pollutants, so like heavy metal, excessive nitrogen, phosphorus, from runoff. So it helps to protect downstream water from toxins, right? It's also really good for erosion control, so it helps to stabilize coastline and prevent loss of soil. Usually that happens, we get a lot of loss of soil during storms or flooding, and Spartina really helps to hold the soil in space. Uh, It also helps with carbon dioxide from the air, and it stores it in the soil. So it will take it out from the air and will store into the soil. So it's a really good plant that helps to combat climate change. Um, and great for restoring salt marshes. So all of the lost habitat that are trying to be reestablished, right? Spartina helps with that. It helps to really protect the biodiversity um, of even other plants like elder for elderberry, goldenrod, and yarrow. It really does help other plants. So it's a plant that is healing to the land, right? Like I've always, prior to this particular conversation that we are having and you bringing this plant um for discussion, I've always just looked at herbal medicine in terms of people and animals, right? Using plant for medicine for the people, using plant for medicine for animals when they're sick to get them better, for food and all of these things. But what didn't really cross my mind in a bigger way was healing plants for the soil, for the land, right? Plants that have healing abilities for the land. And being a healer of the land is also knowing what plant is needed in what particular part of the environment that can help that um that area get better, heal, restore whatever uh system that was healthy that was in that space. So now it's giving me something to really think about and look at, even as an herbalist, like not just an herbalist for the people and the animals and things of that nature, but also for the land. Like, so, really thank you for bringing Spartina into the space and my world because now I'm gonna be going and doing an in-depth research on it. I know that it also has medicinal abilities for people as well. However, I'm really interested in its healing abilities and nourishing ways, the way that it keeps um, the environment, right, the salt marshes and stuff like that, the way it keeps them together. So, yeah, that's my little spiel on Spartina. Soon as I get this, soon as I can share, you guys are just going to love it. Anyhow, if someone wanted to see Spartina, right, would it only, like, where could they go?
I would say if you're out in the wilderness, like look out for like marshes or ponds or like lakes, some that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say like from the locations that I know they're growing in the Bronx, New York City, like look along the Bronx River because I think there are some actual native wild Spartina that haven't been planted that are just there from what I think. But I would say Concrete Plant Park, rocking the boat. I don't know the exact street. I do apologize for that. I think it's the park,
Okay.
Berry Point Park, I believe. I'm unsure,
Which
but
park? Which park?
Berry Point Park, I think that's the name.
You said Ferry Point Park?
Yeah,
Mhm. I don't know.
I
It's
think
in
that
there.
might be a park. I think we have Spartina planted right there behind the dock. And if anybody were to go to the community rowing that is happening every Saturday, you can get on a boat ride and uh, maybe someone might row you to one of the points where the rest of Spartina is. So there's that.
Wait, you mentioned community rowing. Community rowing, what is that? And where?
Community rowing is a thing that Rocking the Boat does to take the public out on water to experience the program, the boats, and being on water. You can't, some people can partake in the rowing, but I would say proceed with caution and like it's a very fun experience, especially for those who have never been out on water in a rowboat. There's a lot of birds along the Bronx River. There's no guarantee you'll see them 24/7 out on the Bronx River. We also have an osprey nest along there, two of the same pair that have been coming by the Bronx River every year to lay their eggs in the same nest. It's I believe it's free. All you have to do is just sign up for it. I think you can go to Rocking and Boat website for that. Like I said, look, and if anything, you could just look up Rocking the Boat on Google Maps, and uh it should show you the location on where it is.
Okay. Thank you. So I hope that anyone that's listening, you heard that. So you guys can look up Rocking the Boat online. It's in the Bronx on Edgewater Road, and they have amazing programs over there for middle school children and high school children. Their program is really great. And then they have opportunities on the weekend where families and individuals can go and just kind of get a taste of what it's like to sail or row They also do boat building. So definitely check them out and join their community rowing days. Yes. So I think that my slide is being shown. Yay. I think we own. Yes, great.
Yeah, I can
I don't
see.
know, but Ramon, can you see my screen that it's changed?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So, Spartina, alternate flora. Okay, cordgrass. That was the common name that I was looking for, cordgrass. So, this is what it looks like. So, it is a grass. Yep. This is what it looks like. This is part of the grass family. This is in Soundview. Okay. You kind of see what a saltwater marsh looks like, right? Talked about this. So in a saltwater marsh, this is usually split into like three section. You have the mud flats, then you have the mid um tide, and then the high level, mid-level, high level. And usually Spartina is planted right in between. Usually the mud flats, that's where you found like the little fiddler crabs and other kind of creatures, animals that lives in that mud area. Pretty cool. Okay, so Ray, Ramon, sorry. So, what else can you tell us about this right here? These are some images that I have and I'm sharing because outside of Spartina, there's other plants and other things that mean a lot to you and other plants that you've encountered and have engaged with um, throughout your life, I'm assuming, since this is when you was much younger than what you look like right now. So can you tell us a little bit about this? What's the story here?
When I was younger, I did used to gather some plants from my guinea pig that used to have a Cosmo. I would gather up some uh there was a specific plants I would gather from. It was the plantain, not the store plantain like the banana one. It's like a leaf. It's like a little patch of leaves uh that I would gather. Those also help with mosquito bites. It really does. I would gather them for my guinea pig to eat. Majority of the time I would prefer to gather him dandelions because he really seemed to like those, the leaves and the flower, I think. He also like the flower as well. Um, I don't know. I want to say during the time I was thinking, but thought of just like giving him a little piece of the wild that he couldn't really exactly experience on his own was really great for him. And he really liked the food. He did eat somewhat all of it. His preferred preferences were things that he ate the leaves, but I think he preferred like the flowers or the little buds. Um, I believe I also collected him some berries as well. I think got him some raspberries. Sometimes it would stain his fur, but he would get over that in a minute. Yeah, y- you're on mute.
Yeah, I realized that I started to speak and then I saw that you were muted. Yeah, thank you for sharing that amazing connection with your uh pet Cosmo and the plants that you were feeding him, plantain, dandelion. So where you go, like where are you getting these dandelions and these leaves to feed your um guinea pig with?
It would really just be anywhere, but personally, I would prefer like parks, like open parks, than like just any place in a city where you see dandelions or planting, because people do spray a lot of stuff on it and a lot of stuff gets on it. So personally, I would just prefer like open parks or even like a little forest, even because for me, it's like, well, I would say it would just be more natural and like there wouldn't be any chemicals or anything human wise that would disturb the plant or if anything be food poisoning from like guinea pigs. So I would really just prefer to get like from open parks or forest, basically, like a field, if anything. That's where they mainly would grow. They're more so field plants. You would find them out in open fields than like uh a forest, honestly.
Okay, so your guinea pig didn't just get store food. It got food from the wild, food that it will naturally be eating from. Um, how is that like being able to have access to a green space that you can just go in and like get food for your guinea pig?
I would say it was good, especially for him. I would say the only issue with it is that he would get bored of eating the same food every now and then. So like he'll take small nibbles and just wait to see if anything new will pop up. But it was
Oh, he
like
was spoiled then. He was
yeah,
spoiled. He waiting for something new. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
um he doesn't like eating old stuff every now and then. Every now and then we'll get him something new, whether it be from a park or a store bought. He really used to like fruits. He really loved peppers. Peppers and pears were his favorite.
Oh, all right. Thank you for sharing that. Do you have any last thoughts or anything else you want to share that you didn't share yet? Anything. We are at the end of our session, and I just would like to give you that time to just share anything else or anything in closing that you want to say about your time with with these plants.
Not exactly, but just to those who own like small herbivorous animals, if anything, if they're thinking about gathering food from out in the open for their pets, just like I said before, um, go for parks that aren't exactly, how do I say this? Like, that parks that don't have people using pesticides or any type of certain chemicals on plants, or maybe even a park that might be overpopulated with some weeds, because that majority of the time it would be dandelions that would be there as well. But like go for go for foresty type parks, not like some. I mean, Central Park has those, but I wouldn't recommend Central Park because like they're always cutting out down the weeds. I believe they're always maintaining the grassy areas, so there wouldn't be any like dandelions or plantains, just like tall, sharp grass, which is also fine because I believe I did collect some grass for him,
Mm-hmm.
uh, small blades of grass. He was okay with that. Yeah, just to and also be cautious and always make sure you wash the food before you give it to him because you could really be bringing home anything, whether it's bugs, fleas, ticks, or even just like some sort of small germ. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that reminder, and tips. Yes, people definitely be mindful where you're getting, if your intention is to get these wild plants for your pet, be mindful where you're getting Make sure it's an area that is not being spread and that it is safe. Yes, and then when you bring it home, just like in these pictures, I see you sorting through the plants. Make sure you wash them, clean them, make sure that it's safe. So definitely practice those safety precaution. And I do want to remind people that foraging in public parks outside of Concrete Plant Park. It is not uh, an open policy. So if you want to forage in a public park and have that experience, go to Concrete Plant Park. It's off of Westchester Avenue. That's where you can have that experience and be in alignment with the current policy that parks have in, in space for us. On another note, thank you, Ray, for coming. I enjoyed your stories, what you shared. Now I'm excited to go do my own research. And for those of you out there, every Friday, 12 p.m. We'll learn about a new plants, hear some new stories. Anyone that's interested in looking for a program for plants, for their team to learn about plants, there's this amazing program starting this fall, Rooted in the City. Please reach out to me so I can give you information on that. Sign up your team for it. They are going to learn a whole lot. It's going to be very engaging. I will put up some information on it so you can click. So make sure you look down in the description. The link is going to be there, Rooted in the City, every week. Well, yeah, every week, Friday, 12 p.m. Meet me here. If you have any stories about any plants along the Bronx River, any experiences that you've had there and you want to come along and share, make sure to leave me a comment, send me a message. You can reach me at bjourney, BJournei. That's on Instagram, or send me an email, right? Each one carry one at gmail.com. Again, all this information will be in the description. Thank you and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.